Hello everybody, I am Kyle Edwards from thisisdrive.com, and today we will be reviewing a car none other than the 2017 Cadillac CT6 Platinum. Now, the CT6 is the first vehicle built on GM's Omega platform, and that was specifically designed for larger vehicles, larger sedans, with either all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. Now, we are expecting a CT8 to be coming out in the future, maybe a year or two from now, which will also be built on that platform, and it will replace the CT6 as the ultimate flagship. But for now, this is what we have to work with, and that is definitely not a bad thing. So in this review, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take it for a spin, talk about the exterior, as well as go on the interior, and talk about some tech that's going on in there and some of the luxurious features. Now, I must say, I really do love the exterior design on the CT6. That's probably my overall favorite design aspect of the car, is the exterior. We have these really nice, drop-dead gorgeous, in my opinion, front headlamps that have a nice LED downward slope in the front. And it's sort of like headlights are really becoming the eyes of the car. It's really the first thing that grabs your attention, and that's certainly the case on the CT6, the way they drape down. And it really gives the whole sedan a very elegant feel. And if I was to use one word to describe the entire CT6, that is the word I would use. The styling is very elegant, much like an estate sedan. You'd expect to see it, rolling up a really long driveway to a large mansion somewhere nestled deep in the forest or woods somewhere, maybe with a reclusive billionaire at the helm of the vehicle. Now, we do have these optional 20-inch wheels here, and they are machine face, as you can see. They have a different unique design aspect to them. I do like they went with a couple of different tones of metal here, and it looks unique. It makes it stand out. I see this wheel a lot on the car. It's pretty popular, as you can see why. It's obviously quite nice. Very long swooping curves that come along the side here. Now, we do have the traditional Cadillac door handles, which I really do like quite a lot. Push once to lock, push again to unlock, so there's no sensor, it's just a button, which I actually appreciate because in the winter time, sometimes the sensors can get bogged up with ice or snow, and it's annoying, but with the button, that does not happen. Now, this is also a light, so at nighttime, you're getting closer to the vehicle, the key has a proximity sensor in it, and the car is like, hey, Kyle's getting close. I'm going to turn on all the lights, and that's exactly what it does. As you walk up, it looks pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. Coming around the back, we have the quad exhaust dual each side. The car does not sound that amazing. It is a 3-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder. It doesn't sound bad, but it definitely does not sound like a V8. CT6 badging, little lip spoiler there. This is the all-wheel drive model. And a very large trunk. Now, actually under here, this is where we have the camera housings for the backup camera, and then the other camera is actually for the mirror on the inside, which I'll get to in a minute. Of course, we have the gym bag and the car care products. I know you can't quite see it, but it is a very large trunk. And 2, push to close, which is nice. All automatic. And as you can see, the wheels, the color, the nice white, really make a nice pronounced feeling. Very elegant and estate sedan. It should be. Now we're going to go ahead, step on to the inside, and go over some features in there, and see what you guys think. So just another design aspect on the exterior, which I wanted to mention, is I always love how these mirrors look from the inside. Sort of looks like something that you'd see on a really exotic car. Nice, small, thin mirror, and I really like how they cut that angle in right there. Looks really cool. You can look at your nice line as you drive away from your estate. Anyway, the quality. Let's talk about the quality, since that's important in any luxury sedan. So we have Alcantara here on the B pillar, which is good. And then this is all nice leather stitched right up here. It's all leather. The whole door panel is, as well as the entire dashboard. You can kind of see there, just giving you a nice overview of the dashboard. It's well constructed, definitely feels high quality. Now this wood I'm not crazy about. It's on the Platinum model. I wish they would do a natural wood like they have one, at least they did on the CTS. They had a really nice natural porous wood, which I think would really be perfect for this car. That's obviously not available at the moment. Also good, they put the seat controls here on the door panel, massaging seat. What's that button right there? So when you press that button, it will start to massage, and then you can also adjust different things on the screen with the round button on the door panel as well. So there's many different massages we can get. Shoulder off, and then you can also change the intensity, as you've seen. So there's that lumbar, and then the leg extension, which is always appreciated, especially for taller people with longer legs. But coming over here, looking at this right here, it's sort of interesting. We have a mix of carbon fiber, metal, and wood. It's interesting. Not sure. I like how it looks. It's just an unusual combination, in my opinion. Controls for the heads-up display, which you can kind of see. There's actually different menus you can go through. So that's definitely appreciated always. And I do love their display here. Obviously it's a screen, and it is interchangeable. These buttons here, we can have it do several different things. There's a turbo boost gauge. It actually gets 20 pounds of boost when you step on it. Believe it or not, it does go up that high. So definitely, a lot of different features. We have the driver assistance feature there, which includes the laser guided cruise control, lane departure warning, so you can keep an eye on all of that if you wish. And then you can just do that trip, compass, fuel range, oil life, tire pressure, fuel economy, average speed, speed limit, and back to driver assistance. So definitely a wealth of information for you there. Now in here, we have night vision. Obviously it's not dark out, so that will not work, but that will pop up right there, which is a fantastic feature. I absolutely love it. It's amazing what that does. I'll get more into that in a second. As you can see, you can also just make that gauge with that. And then same thing over here, you can, make this say, various information. Unfortunately, there's only 2 gauge displays. This is one of them, and there's another one which I don't really like that much. It really just basically takes away a lot of the information from you. And the older version of the system, there were, I believe, 3 if not 4 different screen options, one of which included a map in here, which I really like. It's Audi's doing that now. So Cadillac, hey, they thought of it first, but it's not in this car, unfortunately. Now the blinker stalk here feels really, I know it's just a blinker stalk, but it feels really well made, and it's not too big, so when you're over here shifting, it doesn't get in the way, which is really, I feel, that's what luxury is, making something that, is better than what it could be, thinking about all the little details, and they've done that in this car in a few areas, and I really can appreciate that. Now we have the Bose Panerai sound system, which actually includes 34 speakers. Okay, I mean, come on, that's unheard of almost. It's craziness, but it is kind of cool. If you hold that, it will lower into the dash, and then you turn it back on, and hello, Panerai comes back. Now we have several different uses of materials on the interior. I really love this right here. It's a nice leather with some holes in it, as you can see. It gives you, unique texture, unique design. Comes down metal around the stop-start button. Then we have our other metal trim with our carbon fiber. Air vents are right here. And if you hear a loud noise, it's actually my seat. You hear how loud that cooled seat is? Now, that's another thing I was going to talk to you guys about, because I often get in a car that has cooled seats and they hardly do anything. But when you put the cooled seat on in this car, it really goes. It really cools you off, and I can really appreciate that. It's well made. I also really like this thing right here, the drive selector. It looks like I'm about ready to take an aircraft off when you... It's like really large, actually. Now, we have, of course, the 360 camera, the regular backup camera with guidance lines. We have the sensors, which will show up over there on that screen. The seat will also vibrate as well. Yes, the seat. I did say the seat. It will vibrate. It's vibrating right now. Auto stop start on off. It's really obnoxious. I always turn it off. The car can park itself. You do that button. Glove box button. Everyone seems to be obsessed with that button. I guess it's cool. The cup holders, really small. I'm not sure what was happening with these cup holders. It can hold a water bottle just fine, but that's about it. Forget anything larger than a standard water bottle, and I do believe lots of things are larger that people like to carry around. Cooled cup holders. Stick your hand in there. They actually are pretty cold, which I think is good. A lot of times they advertise things that doesn't actually work, but that does. Now this I really do not understand. This pad. This is all this is touch screen. There's a button there. It's their latest Q system, and by the way, it looks really fantastic on this large screen. Do a lot of different things with it, but you know, moderately responsive. But I don't understand this touchpad. Why would I want this? Climate, okay. Ugh. This is like, brings me back to the Lexus, yikes. So, this is just taking up a lot of real estate down here. I don't know why we have this. I think they should get rid of it. Cool thing though, this is a wireless charging port right here. You can slip the phone deep in there, and it will just sit there, which is pretty nice. In fact, I think I do have a phone in here I can do that with to demonstrate. This opens from both sides too. One side and inside, so that's cool. Yeah, so this, by the way, is a Samsung Galaxy S8 right here. So it's a pretty large phone. As you can see, it fits nicely right in there. Wireless charging, so that's very good. Now, we do have a few different drive modes. We have the snow mode, which basically just dumbs everything down, makes everything less powerful, less potent. We have the touring mode, which is standard. I always drive it in that. And sport mode, which makes a few changes to the suspension, throttle response, changes the gauges to red from blue. Nothing too earth-shattering. But it's a pretty nimble vehicle for being so large as it is to begin with. So, you know, it doesn't really necessarily need a sport mode. Also, the passenger seat does have the controls for memory, which is a good feature. And by the way, the CT6, it starts at $54,000. Now, they have about 4 different trim levels. There's the CT6, Luxury, Premium Luxury, and Platinum. Again, we're in the Platinum, which is the top trim level. See, all-wheel drive, crystal white tri-coat, jet black interior, 8-speed auto. Looking at $91,580 with our options. So we have some options here. As you can see, we have the white tri-coat, $500, and these 20-inch wheels are about $2,100. So night vision is included with the Platinum, which is really, I feel, a cool feature to have. It's really still uncommon. I've actually been seeing better fuel economy than what's rated by the EPA, so it's always a good thing in my opinion. Look at that. Bose Panoramic sound system includes 34 speakers. Ridiculous. Also can do Android, Apple CarPlay on here. Glove box button. Everybody loves that button. So, anyway, that is pretty much the interior of the 2017 Cadillac CT6 in the front seat, at least. There's our mirror, which I was going to talk a lot more about later. As you can see, regular electronic gives you a much wider viewing angle. Absolutely phenomenal feature. I don't know why they haven't been doing this for years. It's 2 sunroofs. We have the front and the rear. Again, all Alcantara headliner up there, which is great. And rear sunshade. So that's definitely a good feature to have, sunshades in the windows, but they are not automatic. I'm surprised and sad. There are actually speakers in the headrests inside. So yeah, they have to figure out a place to put all those speakers. But anyway, now we're going to go and check out the back seat and show you what that's like. Alright, so we are now in the back seat. It's a very large back seat, I might add. It's, again, continuing the full Alcantara headliner, side pillars, which do give it a very nice, luxurious feel. And there's another little window right there. Again, all Alcantara, continuing the nice leather. I feel like, again, that definitely should be automatic for over $90,000. So that's a little disappointing, Cadillac. Now right here, we have the heated seats, cooled seats in the back as well. So that's a good feature. We can also control the rear sunshade as well as the rear sunroof. And we do have this remote, which controls the TVs for the back seat. And you can hook up HDMI if you want to watch something, or more conveniently, you can also just see what they're viewing up front on this screen back here. And I think that's a great feature, especially if you're on a road trip and you want to look at the navigation menu, it can show up right there. It also operates as our massage screen. You can get various massages like you can up front on all 4 seats. The middle guy, he gets left out, no massage for him. You can also do a couple other controls as well, as you can see there. Now that is all controlled down here. However, this button right here, which does the reclining, they both do the same thing. So I think one button would have been a better idea. But I suppose for aesthetic's sake, they put 2. That doesn't sound that great. I feel like it might break in like a year, but who knows. Cup holders. As you can see, we have that, which is definitely in line with the nice trim we have around the vehicle and all the seats. Definitely sort of a Cadillac thing. So anyway, that is pretty much the back seat in all its glory. And we are now going to go ahead, hop in the driver's seat, and tell you guys what it's like. So now, as I was mentioning earlier, we are riding on the Omega platform by General Motors. And the first use is in this vehicle we are driving in today. It was specifically, again, designed for larger vehicles in either a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive platform. Now, what they did was they made it out of quite a bit of aluminum, allowing for a greater weight savings, more nimble handling. Obviously, the lighter the vehicle is, and the more power it has, the better it's going to drive. It's going to be more nimble, be able to have a little more fun, especially on some of these curves, and also giving us greater fuel efficiency. Now everybody's going about fuel efficiency their own way. Some are doing a lot of hybrid, some are doing a lot of supercharged, turbocharged, to get more out of the engine, more power for better efficiency. And what Cadillac's done in this particular model is we have a 3-liter twin turbo. So the twin turbo scenario is obviously going to give us more boost, and as well as also give us less turbo lag, practically none in fact at the low RPM spectrum, so that we really do get the feeling of an 8-cylinder engine. Now, Cadillac put a lot of effort into, again, trying to make this a very sporty vehicle, about as sporty as a large sedan can be. They've definitely done a solid job. A couple things: in addition to the 400 horsepower 3-liter 6-cylinder engine, also produces around 408 pound-feet of torque. That comes in around 2,500 RPMs. So definitely giving you a lot of power in that scenario. There are 2 other engines available. There's a 3.6-liter normally aspirated 6-cylinder, drinks around, I believe, the low 300s horsepower, and high 200s or low 300s torque. And then they have a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. Here for you guys. As you can see, gets up and moves with little effort. Now, we do have an 8-speed automatic transmission in this vehicle, which I am sorry to say, if there is one big downfall, it would be the 8-speed automatic. It's very unrefined, and a lot of times, especially at lower speeds, if I'm driving 20-25, it will not know what gear to pick and will kind of lurch me. Actually feel like thrusted in the cabin, which is obviously not what you'd be expecting out of a car that cost $90,000. Now again, I keep saying $90,000. This is the Platinum model, fully loaded. It does start around $54,000, and for about $55,000-$60,000, you can get a very nicely equipped CT6. So when I keep talking about the number 90, it's not exactly what this car is going for. I'd say a lot of CT6 are going to be around. They're going to be heading out the door around $60,000-$65,000, not 90. But again, we do get a lot of amazing features as well for $90,000. We get the laser guided cruise control. We get night vision. We get pedestrian detect, animal detect. So at nighttime, if it detects an animal or a person coming out on the road, it will actually apply the brakes for you if it feels that you are, an immediate impact is going to happen. So, again, there's a lot of tech on here that we see at only the highest level of vehicles. So you are getting your money's worth in that area. Another thing to note about this vehicle is the magnetic ride control. And what that does is essentially there are, liquid magnets in the shocks, which can put a charge on to make, a ride either smoother or give you, stiffer suspension, stiffer ride, so you can handle the car more aggressively, more athletically. So that is definitely something to note. The rear wheels will actually turn a little bit too as you turn this wheel to, get in tight spaces, give you better handling capabilities. So, again, some unique things that are going on within the vehicle, and it does handle, very nicely. It is, again, it's a sporty, large sedan, and that is definitely Cadillac's MO, what they're going for on this vehicle. So, switch lanes, get up on the power, and, again, it's really effortless acceleration, so there's no shortage of power. However, I do not, know if I would take a 2-liter 4-cylinder in a sedan this big that weighs this much. The 2-liter turbo is only available in the rear-wheel drive. The 3.6 and this 3-liter twin turbo are only available on the all-wheel drive platform. So that's something to take note of. And lastly, I would just like to talk about how quiet this vehicle is on the interior, which is really the mark of any large luxury sedan. They have to be very quiet and refined. That definitely adds to the refinement level of any large sedan that costs a significant amount of money. And that's where Cadillac definitely did a very good job. Even if you look at the underbody of the vehicle, it has lots of different panels and things like that to help keep road noise out. The door panels have a lot of different insulation in them. The windows are special to also keep as much noise out of the cockpit as possible. And again, highway speeds around the city, ambulance noises, the music, you can turn it on, and you're basically just in your own little world, nestled inside your massaging leather seats with your 38 Bose speakers, just nestled away in your little world. So that's definitely creating a nice cocoon, as I will say, for this vehicle. And when they put that much energy and effort into making a car sound as quiet as this one is, you know that it wasn't an afterthought. So anyway, those are my driving thoughts for the 2017 Cadillac CT6 Platinum. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys next time.